Hey. All right, man, we live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
I think we should turn off the music now before Facebook gets us.
That was a band.
Now we're going to get banned from Facebook. I wonder if I can see us on yours.
All right, start your show, man.
I can't see anything. Are you sure we're live? Oh, hi.
Dorks. It's the first time.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
It's Frangela. I didn't know we were live, so forgive me.
Pam, are you allowed to watch us at work? Or are we going to get you in trouble like I always get you in trouble when I come by?
You're always getting Pam in trouble.
Yes.
Pam is always getting Sabrina in trouble. You're always getting Pam in trouble. There's a pattern.
True.
Okay, so guys, I don't know if you read our little description of what we're doing, but the coolest thing about my boyfriend is that whenever I have any kind of crazy shenanigans in my head, he always goes along with it. So a couple days ago, I was like, hey, babe, we should start doing lives on Friday mornings, and we can call it Fridays with Frank and Angela. And first he gave me a really weird look like, what? And then he said, okay. He always says okay. He's so cool. Like, no matter how crazy my ideas are, he always says okay. So we decided that on Friday mornings, we're just going to get together with our friends. That's you guys. And we're just going to talk about just random topics for just a few minutes. We're not going to hold up your morning because Frank, as everyone knows, is a workaholic. So he's going to have to get back to work here soon anyway. But
We're already twitching.
I know. He's like, oh gosh, what time is it? So I thought we'd just talk about fun stuff. Like, we have the craziest lives. And for those of you who have been with us since the beginning of our relationship, you've seen it go from like cool, like, oh, we're at the beach today, to having like 3 infants in our house. And it's been super crazy. So it's like, we could go pay for therapy, or we could talk to our friends and get their advice and see what they have to say about everything that's going on in our life. So this was therapy for us, just to hang out with you guys for like 15 minutes on Friday morning and just share some crazy stories and see if you guys can relate to us, or if you think that we are actually as crazy as we feel like we are.
Yes, true. And we get the same questions over and over again. We should probably take a poll on where people think the babies came from, because there is about 50 different versions of that. Some of them better than the truth. And some people think they're ours. Like, some people literally walk up to me, it's almost 2 years later, and be like, oh my God, you look so good for having twins. I'm all, yeah, I didn't have any twins. So people still think that like they're our babies, and they're not. But we'll get into that. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about how the babies came to be, how we came to be. We're going to talk about everything over the next few Fridays, just for fun. And if you guys ever have anything you want to say to us, like, oh my gosh, Angela, I saw you yesterday at the grocery store, and girl, you need to do your hair before you walk out the house. Anything that you want to say it to us, share it with us, and it'll be all fun. So I thought, since this is the first one, a lot of people ask me how we got together. Like, a lot of people don't know. So I love telling this story, even though my story somehow is different from Frank's version of the story. And it's like we were both at the same place. I don't know how our stories are different. But I thought it would be fun on our first one just to talk about how we got together. And if you guys want to talk about anything, just let us know. We'll talk about what you want to talk about too. Angela's going to give you the Facebook version, and I will clean that up and give you the real version.
There's only one version.
All right, tell your story. Okay,
this is how Frank and I got together. And when people ask that, I don't know if they mean it like, ew, how'd you guys end up together? That's like weird. Or, oh my gosh, how'd you guys end up together? I'm not sure if they like it or not, but
we like it. So
we like it. Okay, so Frank and I have actually known each other for a really long time. I don't know how long, because we never like really introduced ourselves. We were just kind of in the same circles. Like, we have a lot of friends in common, and we were always in the same places all the time. And there's like a pattern to our relationship, and it's WCR. The Women's Council of Realtors, that's like, I know, right? They
that's
like
by far WCR.
Yes, and they made us. But WCR put us together, because all of my stories has to do with WCR. So
if you guys don't know, WCR is Women's Council of Realtors, and yes, you can be a male and be part of that.
Yes, and he was. Were you there for the women?
Or how else are you going to date in this town?
That's true. So, that was an ugly laugh. So anyway, WCR brought us together, because originally when I met Frank was like 5 or 6 years ago, and we were at the annual tea for the Women's Council of Realtors. They do an annual tea and fashion show, and he was an usher, and that was the one where it was the Audrey Hepburn You remember? The Audrey Hepburn theme is the one that they had. And you were in Ushers, like you and Curtis Doss and the guy from Vienza.
Oh, the free labor. Yes.
Yeah.
Suckers.
They just put hot guys in suits and had them escort us to our table. Yeah. And that's the first time that I remember ever seeing you.
And tell us that we'd get fed, but all the girls ate all the food.
Yeah, we were hungry. And it was little food. It was like tiny little hors d'oeuvres. So we ate. But that's the first time I ever saw him. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's cute. But I was like single at the time and I wasn't really caring about cute guys. I was just having some fun. But that's the first time I ever saw him. And then the second time I remember seeing him was another WCR event. And that one was a fashion show again, but this time we were both in it. I was in the fashion, and you were in the fashion show, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was at KB Homes. We all got dressed up and showed off some fashion from this local boutique. And it was a fundraiser for scholarships. And we were both in the fashion show. And I saw him that night. And I think he was seeing someone. And I was seeing someone at that time. But I thought he was cute. And then, guys, guess what? So, like, years later when we actually started, I'm jumping now. 2 years later when we actually started, like, chit-chatting and liking each other's posts on Facebook, I was on his Facebook page and I was looking through, because you know when you like someone, you start stalking their Facebook to see what they're all about. And so I was looking at his Facebook posts, and I saw a post of myself, like, before we were even Facebook friends. He had a photo he was taking photos of like everyone in the fashion show. So it wasn't just me, but on my post, he had a picture of me, and one of his friends says, oh my gosh, she was really wearing that dress. And then Frank responded, oh yes, she was, with 3 exclamations. So yeah, that was back in 2011. I'm like, ooh.
It was a cute dress.
I was cute in the dress.
And everything. Yeah, you did make the dress.
So I found out that he was looking, but he was a good boy. And I think he was seeing someone, I was seeing someone. So nothing ever happened. And that was back in 2011. So now, fast forward, and this is where the story changes because his version is different. I don't know how. Fast forward, WCR, Women's Council of Realtors, we had a spring walk up in La Cresta, where Frank lived. And we were just walking our dogs. There's only about 6 or 7 of us on that path because there's 2 big, huge walking trails in La Cresta. One's off to the left, and that's for foot traffic only. And there's our human foot traffic. And then there's one off to the right where you can bring your animals, your dogs. I had the love of my life, Ryder, my Chihuahua. And so me and my girlfriends were walking, laughing, talking, not paying any attention to where we're going. We're probably going to get eaten by coyotes or something because we were not paying any attention. We were just walking.
Or at least lost. Yes.
We were lost. And then this heavenly voice comes from behind. And it was Frank's voice. And he was telling us, if you guys want to get to where you're going faster, you probably want to take this way. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there's that cute guy again. Like I see him all the time. So we started talking, and we literally talked for like an hour and a half. We talked and we talked and we talked. And at that time I knew that I really liked this guy. He was super cute and a nice butt. Yeah. And then we didn't talk for about a week after that, but we were on Facebook now. We're Facebook friends now. So then I reached out to him and said, hey, me and a couple of my girlfriends are going hiking on that same hike. Would you like to join us? And he said yes. And you tell the rest because this is where the story changes. What happened, Frank?
So Angela's version is she wants to do another hike because they really enjoyed it. So her and a bunch of her friends, maybe her sister, whoever was going to be there.
Blanca Valle.
Sure. Put the names in there. I show up, and lo and behold, it's just Angela. And I'm like, oh, where's all your friends?
My sister is lazy, and everybody who knows Mimi knows that Mimi is super lazy sometimes. She's either super motivated or super lazy. That day, she was being super lazy, and she did not want to walk with me. So she was supposed to come.
Okay. So I could see Mimi flaking. I know Mimi.
Blanca Valle. She's not on Facebook, so she cannot vouch for me.
Okay.
But she was supposed to be there too, and I can't remember what happened to her.
Coincidence that all 12 of the other people that were supposed to be there flaked?
Tanya, vouch for me.
She
was supposed to be there.
Tanya probably had food poisoning. So, or whatever story you guys made up. So, yes, just Angela, and I felt very awkward and uncomfortable because I've been single for a while. And, as guys, we're not that smart. So it's like, here's a super cute girl. We hit it off. We had a lot of things in common during the walk. But I thought she was in a relationship still. So Well, I thought she was cute. Certainly was respectful of that, and I didn't think she was available. Plus, I really wasn't ready to be in a relationship either.
I changed all of that.
Yes, she was a Marine, so 7-year Marine. She is very aggressive and kind of ran me down. Although I gotta admit, I was
this is the part
kind
where
of like the chick in the movie where I tripped and fell when the monsters coming, so I didn't run that hard. Anyway, so I was like, "We're your friends." She had some lame excuse, and I was like, "Is your boyfriend, husband, whatever is going on, know about this? Because I don't need some dude coming getting all crazy that I'm out hiking with this girl by ourselves."
Well, what he doesn't know is I'm a very loyal person, and what he didn't know that time, so I would not have been hiking with him if I had a situation going on. However, I was coming out of the situation, and the timing was perfect. I wasn't really looking for a relationship either. I was just, having fun, and he was super cute, and we kept running into each other. So I'm like, God is trying to tell you something good. That's from a movie, Color Purple. Anyway, so I was thinking, I'm open to whatever, so we'll just hike, even though my girlfriend stitched me, and see what happens. And we hiked, and we had a great time. Did we not?
When was the time you stalked me trying to go in the restroom?
I didn't stalk him. Okay, so we had a great hike.
Before or after?
It was after. Okay. We had a great hike, and it was a lot of fun. And then, like a week later, I ran into him at the Board of Realtors, where the real estate agents go to pay their dues, have classes, and buy things. I was buying a sign or something. I don't know. But I was just there that day, and he was there that day for a broker meeting. And I saw him in the hallway. And this is like a week after our second walk. And at that point, I knew that I really wanted to, ask him out if he wasn't going to ask me. And I knew he still was. We weren't really sure about what was going on in each other's lives, but I was like, this is the time I have to find out. And like he said, I can be a very aggressive girl at times if I want to be. And so he was in the hallway. He had to go pee, I think. Were you trying to go pee?
Yeah, I just got done drinking my thing of water, so I was dancing. How's this camera work?
He had to go pee, but think about it.
Block the door.
But think about it. If you're talking to someone and then you let them go to the bathroom, if they walk out of the bathroom and you're still standing there, that's freaky. I would have been like, why are you listening to me pee? That's weird. So I knew I had to make a move before he went into the bathroom, so then I could go my own way and he could go his, and it wouldn't be awkward. I couldn't just stand outside the bathroom door while he peed, and then he's going to come out like, what the heck is wrong with this chick? So I tried to do some fancy footwork and talk to him and see, make sure he was good to go. And then I asked him out.
And she probably thought I was a tweaker, because I was like a little kid dancing around.
But you weren't going to be until I had a date. So that's your fault that you took too long. You didn't ask me out, so you had to hold off until I got the courage. And so in the hallway of SCRCAR, the Board of Realtors for us, I had to do some really fast thinking in my head, okay, Angela, come in. You can do this. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? So what I decided to do was hey, I know you work a lot and I work a lot, and it's springtime and I haven't gone to the beach yet. I'm thinking about taking off to go to the beach next week on Monday, whatever day I made up. I'll make a lunch if you want to go hang out. And guess what he said? What did you say?
I said, I'm dying for you to ask me that question.
No, you didn't. But he said yes, and that was our first official date. And actually, you know what? I always say that I don't think that we both knew that was our first date at the time until we started dating, and then we realized that was our first date, because when we were going to the beach, I just wanted to get to know him because he was a really cool guy, and he was super cute, and I liked his little pee-pee dance. But I really just wanted to get to know him more, because we kept for 5 years now. We're literally running into each other. We're literally at the same events. We see each other all the time. The walk was a sign for me that we had a lot in common, and it was just time for me to get to know him more. So I made the first move. Yes, bad girl. And I asked him out, and we had our first time hanging out together, which was not a date. I packed a lot of food. He picked me up, or we met in a mutual location, and we rode together. Laguna just happened to be both of our favorite beach. We both love Laguna. So we rode together to Laguna Beach, and we had a great talk and conversation, and it was just fun. We had a great day. That was our first official date that we didn't know was a date until after we started dating. But we did kiss on that date.
Just a little kiss.
It was just a little kiss. That was a nice kiss. But I swear to you, like by 3 hours into it, I knew this is like the guy for me. I was completely like, oh, I like him a lot. I like him a lot. And I didn't want him to kiss me. But I had to make the first move on that too.
Hey.
He's such a gentleman. 3 hours and I'm like, he better kiss me soon. Oh my God. And then finally I just gave him permission. So, you know, like.
Are you going to kiss me or what?
And that was our first kiss. And our first kiss and first date kind of happened simultaneously, but 6 years later, 6 years later. And that's that. That's how we came to be. I love telling that story. And a lot of people ask, how did you guys get together? So I just have to tell you guys that's how we got together. Yep. So that's the story of Frangela. Oh, and then last thing before we go. Frangela. Okay, so when we started posting photos on Facebook, because we actually were seeing each other for a while before, because we were trying to be respectful to other people that we come out of relationships with. Even though a lot of time had passed, we were still trying to be respectful. So we were dating for a while before we started posting photos together on Facebook. And I remember the first time I asked him, hey, I'm going to tag you in this photo. He was like, okay, but don't do anything cheesy like hashtag Frangela and combine our names. He said not to do that. That was his words, Frangela. That was his words. Don't do that. So I was like, okay, I wouldn't do that. And then all of a sudden, every time I turn around, he's calling me Frangela. Hey, Frangela. Frangie. He still does. Like he said it was lame and he named us Frangela. So that's where, when you see me hashtag Frangela, that's where it came from. It was not my little girly, like, ooh, I'm going to call it Frangela. It was him. He literally calls me Frangies like all the time.
Okay, part with that because she has like 12 names.
I don't.
So there's Angela, Angie.
No one calls me that except for my really old girlfriend.
Whatever
that's what Khadijah, my family calls me Khadijah. But he calls me Frangela. It was his idea. So yeah. So anyway, This is weird because I'm really sitting on this side, but this makes it look like I'm sitting on this side. So when I try to put my hair together on this side, I keep doing this because it's on the wrong side. Is that weird? Mm-hmm. I don't know how to fix that.
So, as you guys can see, Angela loves to talk. Faith, her daughter, and I get subject to Angela's nightly rants over dinner. Usually there's about an hour rant of something that's going on in the news or world or Donald Trump.
Because I'm a very passionate person.
Yes, you are. So,
but we're not going to talk about any of that stuff on our Fridays. I think
Angela should just do a little Angela's Rants YouTube video show. No. That'd be awesome to let her go on.
No.
And have some adult time besides baby talk.
Yes. So anyway, we just wanted to take a few minutes of your time. I think that was close to 15 minutes. 17 minutes and 18 minutes. So we said we're going to do this on Friday mornings at 9:30 for about 15 minutes. So we're about at our time. Well, we are at our time. We're past our time. So we're going to do this every Friday just for fun. And we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about until we see things that you guys want to talk about. So thanks, Kelly. She says she loved the art behind. She loves the art behind our head. So our friend Kelly, who says she loves our art here, it's because she knows our art obsession.
Kelly, did you notice the burrito bag?
Check it out, Kelly.
From Miami,
home of Romero Brito, who's my favorite artist. And so Frankie V, my love, he bought me a nice Romero Brito painting that I never would have bought on myself because I'm a cheapskate, but he loves me enough to spend that kind of money on me. And then my burrito bag that he bought me this summer on our family vacation.
Yeah. And Kelly, you know the best thing about that last cruise? We didn't hit Park West at all, so my credit card didn't get racked up that bad.
I know. We tricked them. We didn't buy anything this time. And Michael says she was stalking Frank in the bathroom. I wasn't in the bathroom. I was just at the bathroom door. That's all.
Mike, if I went in, she would have gone after me. So yeah.
Probably. If he had not said yes to a date, I would have gone in after him. But he did, so I didn't have to get arrested in the SRCR for stalking men's bathroom.
But Mike's a veteran too, so he knows how it is.
Oh, I know. He was in the Navy, right?
Yep.
Yay. Okay, so we'll see you guys next week, 9:30. And again, if you guys want to talk about anything, let us know. We'll talk about that. If not, we'll just make up stuff to talk about. Next week, we'll probably talk about the babies because that's the other biggest question we always get asked. Either people think they're ours, wondering how we had 3 at the same time, or where the heck they came from.
Or want to congratulate us. Like, or what?
Yeah.
You're so lucky. Like,
oh, they come over,
yeah.
come over.
Trade spots.
Yes. But we are lucky. They're awesome. They're blessings. But we'll talk about how we got those little blessings next week. Okay? So thank you guys for joining us. Anything you want to say?
Covered it, babe.
We love you guys. Thank you. We have a lot of people. This makes me so happy. So thank you guys for hanging out and joining in with us. It says we have 23 comments, but I just want to make sure no one asked us anything that we can't wait. Looking forward to seeing you. Pamela wants to see us. Yay. Scott says, Kelly says, Scott says cocktail soon.
Definitely.
Sabrina says, go see Purple. And
Scott,
Faith
cocktails
says,
and SC.
Faith says Aubrey wants to be featured in the next live. That's one of the babies. We'll talk about that. The Auburnator. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. See you next Friday. Bye. Okay. Now I have to cut it off.